Alright everyone, I want to welcome you all back to some more of the house in Fata Morgana. I want to thank you all for the love and support you continue to show this series. It's a real pleasure to read it through, and well, yeah, it's a wonderful game, and we're close to the end, I want to say, and I believe. I've said this before, but at the pace we're going at now, I feel like we're there. But you never know, this game, as usual, is full of surprises. So I hope you all continue to enjoy watching, guys, because it's a treat. So let's get on with it. Alright, and we're back. I did it. I changed the past. What? What the hell? What I see beyond the door is not the nighttime courtyard. The sun hangs high in the sky, shining down the blood-soaked grass. Why? What's going on? That's when I notice. The weight of Morgana's body is gone from my arms. And then... Out in the courtyard. Mel. Nellie! I see a flaxen-haired girl vomit blood and fall to the ground. A young man kneels over her and takes his own life. No. There are dead and dying townsfolk all around the nun. The swordsman is skewered as he scrambles to reach her. And at the door, just to my back, Jacopo. The Lord lies unmoving, slumped against the wooden frame in a pool of blood. How can this be? We were all just talking not a minute ago. How the hell did we go from that to this? Why? Why, damn it? I changed the past, did I not? I steered them away from this outcome. I changed. Oh. That's what this is. As much as I don't want to believe it, it makes sense. The sense that something wasn't quite right I've been feeling ever since I got here. The darkness that swelled up when I touched the necklace. I was never in the past at all. This isn't the real world. It's the realm of the dead. The same domain in which the cursed mansion resides. Which is why when I arrived here, something felt off. Because death filled the air. Somewhere deep down I could sense the similarity between here and the mansion, the gathering place of departed souls. It was never possible for me to travel back in time, to exist and interact with the real past. I was able to summon the darkness because this isn't the real world. Merely a reconstruction, a projection of their souls' memories. It was all set in stone long ago. None of the time I spent with any of them was real. Every emotional moment I thought I shared with them was all an illusion. None of my conversations, none of the smiles I managed to get out of them were real. I was never there. I was never present in the past with them. I'm currently sometime after all that, sometime beyond the era Morgana lived, beyond the 17th, 18th, 19th centuries. What I spoke of as their next lives was actually their past lives. All three tragedies are history. Immutable, irreversible history. There's nothing to change anymore. What then did I fight so hard to achieve? What did I accomplish by warning them of their next lives, by convincing them to endeavor to take different paths? Nothing? Was it all for nothing? I go limp at the sight of it all, dropping to my knees and sending ripples to the sea of blood. Morgana, the girl who called me an angel and asked me to deliver her unto her father, is still chained up inside the tower. What did I accomplish? What purpose did anything I do serve? Was it all just a big damn waste of time? But my cries go unanswered, simply fading into the dead air. Giselle, who kept me going for so much of this ordeal, is still silent. No, I did accomplish something. It wasn't a waste of time. Everything I did, it wasn't for nothing. I may not have changed the past, and I may not have stopped their tragedies, but I achieved something. I uncovered their stories. I learned the truth of everyone's involvement. You can't take that away from me. I know you're out there, Morgana. I know you've been watching this whole time. You know the truth now. I accomplished that much. That has changed how you see them at least a little. If the present Morgana has a change of heart, decides to let go of her hatred, then that should cause the cursed mansion to disappear. Set their souls free. I'll take that leap of faith. That what I've done is enough, and make my way back, believing there's a future for them beyond their tragedies. I'm coming back, Morgana. I'm returning to that house. To that world of blackness seething with hatred. To my present. I'm going to try this once more. An honest attempt to really see you. To face you, Morgana. I'll be there as soon as I can. Kneeling in a puddle of blood, I turn my gaze toward the heavens. The searing sunlight is slowly eroded by darkness, and my body, mind, and soul follow soon after. It's interesting because if you look really closely, the blood imprints at the front of the screen look like a skull. The bloody corpse-riddled courtyard dissolves. And I find myself once more in an utterly lightless void. I clench my teeth as hard as I can manage, squeeze my eyes as tight as I can, because that's the only way I can keep the screams back, the tears from spilling down my cheeks. Mikkel. Open your eyes, Mikkel. Come to me. What? We meet at last. What? Why is the white-haired girl here? Never mind that. Where am I? I was trying to get back to the mansion. How did I end up here? Do you know who I am? Of course I do. How could I not know who you are? Splendid. But what are you doing here? Why is there a sword in your hands? And why can I not speak? I was able to return to this gathering place of souls thanks to your efforts. Your uncovering of the truth of those events that transpired so many years ago allowed me to remember everything I had forgotten. To remember who I am. Remember who you are? You mean that you're a part of Morgana? My apologies. Bringing your soul here without any preparation has left you in a bit of a nebulous state. But my heart told me I had to do this now. Though you have no voice, I can feel your presence quite clearly. Oh, Mikkel, namesake of the great Archangel Michael and man of tremendous virtue, I have brought you here to ask for your assistance. I pray you will be able to help me. My request for you is simple. Take this blade, and with it, extinguish my soul. You... What are you? Extinguish your soul? I realize that it's cruel for me to ask this of you, and for that I deeply apologize, but I want it to be you who sends me off. Could you grant this girl her selfish request? That's not why I sought the truth. Not because I wanted to see anyone extinguished, but because I wanted to set everyone free from the mansion's cursed bonds. Because I wanted to put an end to this cycle of pain and suffering. Because I wanted to save every last person caught in this tragic quagmire. That includes you. And you're asking me to eradicate your soul? I must be destroyed. You can't tell me that after everything you've seen, you haven't realized I have no place in their lives. While it's true Morgana wished for misfortune to befall them, if I hadn't been there, none of their tragedies would have taken place. If I hadn't been there, the flaxen-haired girl would have been able to let go of her yearning for her brother. If I hadn't been there, the shipwrecked merchant's lover would not have lost their place as his tether. If I hadn't been there, the ambitious businessman would not have been betrayed by his close friend. Why are you acting like it's all your fault? Are you trying to say everyone would be better off without you? I was not a victim in the tragedies. I am culpable for them. Culpable? Like hell you were. I saw everything from start to finish. You didn't intend for anything bad to befall anyone. You always acted out of the good of your heart. And you're trying to tell me that makes you culpable? What do you say we answer one last lingering question, Mikkel? The question of what I am. The explanation might be a bit lengthy, but I would like to share it with you before I depart. I was, as you ascertained, created by Morgana's mind as he broke down in that tower. I was born to be a receptacle for her pain, to ease her suffering, but there's more to the story than that, Mikkel. Upon her death, Morgana's soul was afflicted with a great pain resulting from the hatred and resentment she bore. The fact that she viewed herself as a saint only served to amplify that agony. Her identity as a saint gave her purpose in life, while simultaneously constraining her. A saint must put herself second to all others. She must be caring, generous, forgiving, and she must not bear any ill will for anyone. That was not how she felt deep down, though. She was not a saint out of the goodness of her heart. She wanted to hate them, but her identity would not allow her. Those two conflicting aspects of herself tore Morgana apart. She was unable to withstand it. So she took all her sanity, characteristics, and gave them to me, caring for others, putting herself second, being forgiving. And then she severed that part of her soul. So that's why you always seem so abnormally pure-hearted. I was no longer a part of Morgana, but something entirely separate. However, I wasn't me yet either. When you came to the mansion and resurrected Morgana, you resurrected me as well. But I had no self at first. I was, I suppose, not much different than the particles of dust floating around the mansion. But eventually, that dust gained a sense of self, taking form as a human soul, and descended into the realm of man, and the fate of which governs it. What do you think the first thing a new soul wishes for when it is born, Mikkel? To live. I wish for a continued existence in this world, in a world where I was never meant to exist. I refuse to accept that there is anything wrong with wanting to live. I was supposed to remain within Morgana as a part of her. I was never meant to be a soul of my own. To become one was to turn against the laws of the universe. I wished to live, and Morgana wished to curse the three men's souls. Though we sought after completely separate things, because we were once two parts of a whole, each of our wishes were shaped by the others. In order for an incomplete soul like mine to survive, it needs something to bind itself to the world, something strong enough to prevent the universe from correcting the anomaly. And so the wish of that anomaly gave birth to yet another anomaly, a house that sat outside the current of time, one that could descend into the mortal realm at various times and places. And it was that house that served as a tether for my soul. You mean it wasn't Morgana's power that created the mansion, but your own wish? And why did it have to be that house that bound me to the world? Because that was where she lingered, the girl from which I was formed, which meant that my wish had the consequence of granting Morgana's with it. The house, having attained perpetuity, served as a place for those reconstructed by Morgana's curse to return to. Furthermore, my connection with her had another consequence. I was the one most affected by her wish. As much as I may have wanted to do good for them to be happy, my fate was dictated by her wish. In that position, my merely showing affection for anyone was damnable. Falling in love was an act of villainy. My very presence is malevolent. Don't say that. I was the true witch, the true demon child. Stop talking, please. It should never have been possible for me to have a life at all. Please, stop. The universe must be returned to its proper state, Mikkel. Don't talk about yourself like that. I must be erased, and Morgana's soul restored to its original form. But why? I do not belong here. I never belonged here. What's so wrong with wanting to live? The defect must be repaired. You are not a defect. Damn it! Why couldn't I be able to get a word in now at least? The restoration would not be instantaneous. It took many, many years for me to be formed, and it will take as long as if not longer for the process to be reversed. But her soul will eventually return to its proper state, and perhaps when her soul is restored, Morgana won't be a human. Perhaps she will be a butterfly resting upon the lip of a flower. Perhaps she will be that flower. Perhaps she will be the breeze in which that flower sways. But whatever form she takes, it will be her, whole and complete. With me gone, no more tragedy should take place. So please, take this sword and extinguish me. Put an end to this cycle of misery. I want you to be the one who does it. Please. Kill me. I can't. You're asking too much of me. Yes, I want to save Morgana's soul. But do you really have to die for that to happen? Is there not some other way? Won't you do this for me? I cannot. I could never take that sword. I know it's unfair of me to ask this of you, but I want it to be you. As selfish a request as it may be, I want the curtain drawn on this ersatz life by the man I admired so deeply. You admired me? Let's talk a little bit about that admiration, shall we? And where I got my physical appearance. This goes back to when I was a mere particulate matter drifting about the house. While I still had no mind of my own at that point, I witnessed everything that took place within the house. And in the moment of your death, Mikhail, was I born. You saw my death? Your actions that day appeared to me as the very definition of selfless and honorable. Your life bore many similarities with Morgana's. You were both abused, imprisoned, called a witch. But while Morgana sought vengeance, you watched your own mother burn your crucified body, and you wished for release rather than revenge. There's nothing honorable about that. I had just lost all hope for myself. I expect you'll disagree with me, say that it was a sign of your weakness, but that was not how I interpreted it. Self-sacrifice being one of the core characteristics Morgana gave to me, I was deeply moved. You didn't curse those who had wronged you in life. You chose your own destruction, and I admired that strength of spirit. That admiration helped to shape my wish, to determine the form I would take, the name I would have. That's why, whenever I gained a physical body, it was modeled after yours, with snow white hair and ruby red eyes. Why my name was always Michelle after the same angel from whom you took yours. I'm in no way worthy of anyone's admiration. My admiration caused both you and the woman you love a great deal of pain, and for that I apologize. But it also shows just how much I wanted to be like you. I would ask for you, if you would be so kind, to consider this a great favor for a starry-eyed little girl. A girl who, quite literally, idolized you to her very soul. Don't. I couldn't ask for a greater honor. How can you tell me that? Than to be erased from the world by you, my idol, and then ask me to kill you. Please, Mikhail, be the one to send me off. Don't give me the choice again. I'm not doing it. No matter how many times you ask, I can't kill someone who's told me they wanted to live. I know what it's like to wish for life. I don't know if you've realized it yet, Mikhail, but this is the first time we've actually met. The story of the fourth door was Morgana's creation, which means that until now, we've never been in the same place while both aware of the other's presence. As far as you should be concerned, I'm a complete stranger, yet you still hesitate. I'm glad that you're reluctant, but you've shown me enough sympathy. I don't consider you a stranger at all. Indeed, this is the first time we've formally met, but I've watched you go through so much. I've seen you live 3 different lives. I've seen the impact you had on the people behind all 3 of those doors. You are in no way a stranger. With my erasure, Morgana's soul will eventually become whole again. Her curse and the eternal cycle of agony it brings will be no more. When I'm gone, everything will return to its rightful place. I implore you to not hesitate any longer. You gotta stop asking me to kill you, girl. I'm not doing it. Are there really no other options? Is killing you really the only way to make things right? To release everyone from this curse? I'm delighted to have finally been able to meet you, the man after whom I modeled myself. I am incapable of taking my own life, Mikkel. God's teachings prohibit it, and as such, my identity as a saint prevents me from doing so. No, I don't want you to commit suicide. I want to find some way for you to live, to remain a part of this world. I know that by asking this of you, I am causing you great heartache, and for that, I offer you my sincerest apologies. But so long as I continue to exist in this world, Morgana can never truly have redemption. Tell me, who is it you've been fighting so hard to save? That doesn't mean that I didn't want to save you too. I believed I could save everyone summoned to the mansion, that no one would have to suffer anymore, that there would be no more tragedies. Mikkel, take the sword, please. Oh, I got no other words. Worry not, Mikkel. Doing this will allow you to save everyone. You'll cast off the darkness inhabiting the house, set all its prisoners free, give Morgana her salvation. Oh man, guys, come on, really? I don't want to kill her. And give me mine as well. Extinguishing my soul will be my salvation. I've had a full, satisfying life, even if every moment of it was rooted in iniquity. I had well beyond my share of happiness. I don't need any more. Oh Mikkel, namesake of the great Archangel Michael and man of tremendous virtue, I ask of you to please draw this cycle of misfortune to an end, to take this blade and deliver everyone from their fates. It must be you, Mikkel. You must be the one to do this. Ah, that's the only choice? How about if I wait? How about if I wait? Is that time this time I have to take it? Ah. I'm waiting for the church to go away. No? Ah, it's that time this time, guys. I gotta take it. Alright. Thank you, Mikkel, for having the strength to do what must be done. And I apologize for putting you in such a difficult position. Once my soul has been erased, I will be gone from this world forever. I will not return, not in this or any other form. I feel no woe in that knowledge, though. I welcome my destruction with the utmost of joy. However, if it wouldn't be too much to ask, if for you to keep just a little bit of me in the corner of your soul, Mikkel, to remember me, to remember the life I lived, that would make it all worthwhile. Thank you, Mikkel. You may very well be a genuine. The whiteness surrounding me evaporates, and I find myself back in the observation tower. I can still feel in my hand the impact of the sword piercing her breast. Damn it! Why? Why couldn't there have been some other way? Erasing a soul is not salvation. God damn it all! She deserved better. So much better than that. No. Now's not the time to grieve. There's work to be done. A girl to whom I must offer the chance for salvation. I mustn't cry over the white-haired girl's death now. There are things I need to take care of first. Morgana. Morgana stands there, staring off absently into the distance. After some time, she slowly turns to face me. What exactly was all that about? Come on, say something. Answer me. Morgana. How? It doesn't make any sense. He and the Lord, they couldn't. There were two different lords. The one at the estate and the one who locked you in the tower. How? How was he doing? What was he doing there? That's not... I didn't... The man I was trying to curse was the Lord who threw the blood sabbats. How did I... Are you saying I remember wrong? That's ridiculous. I won't hear it. I won't have it for a second. You are in a very tenuous condition, Morgana. More than even you realize. You can't assume everything you saw in that state of mind to be true. Why? Just why? That only makes it that much worse. Why would he do that? How could he kill me? He said he would show me the world. I cried for him. And he turns out to be the one pulling the strings? You saw what led to this. You heard what he had to say for himself. Misunderstandings that went unresolved that should have been cleared up immediately. What he did was wrong. Indefensible as far as I'm concerned. This all could have been avoided if he had told you everything. That said, Morgana, I can somewhat sympathize with how he felt then. You can sympathize with that monster? In what way? He loved you, sincerely loved you. And to be the target of such vitriol from a girl he cared so dearly about, to be mistaken for someone else entirely, I can understand how that would have hurt. It doesn't matter. That doesn't change anything. Like I said before, you started all this. It doesn't change anything. Does this revelation change what happened to me? Does it make me any less if I hate-filled witch? What does it matter if he had his reasons? What does it matter if he's not who I thought he was? It doesn't change the fact that I despise him with every fiber of my being. It's time to let go, Morgana. I met with the white-haired girl. I know her true nature. That's not me. You're right. I cannot definitively say that you and the white-haired girl are one and the same. However, I can say with certainty that she was a part of you. A creation of your broken spirit. The fact remains that she was closer to you than anyone else, in every sense of the word. Can you see the situation you're in, Morgana? The terrible tragic irony of it all. You've cursed yourself along with everyone else. You brought ruin to a life of your own creation numerous times. You murdered yourself. It's time to let go, Morgana. There's only pain to be found in continuing down this road. Morgana. I take a step toward her, and she steps back, quietly maintaining her distance. I can almost hear trembling in her voice as she says, "Stay back. You, stay away from me. You have nothing to be afraid of, Morgana. I won't hurt you." I said, stay back, you. I bet you think this is hilarious. That I'm blind and a fool. Morgana. Yes, good on you, my dear. You've revealed my big secret. That I'm a feeble-minded little girl with a poor memory. You've uncovered the truth of my death. Discovered the white-haired girl's true identity. I always presumed she was you. How foolish of me. Laughing like I knew anything. Cursing the entirely wrong man. Absolutely brilliant, you might say. I made myself into quite the laughingstock. I'm not going to laugh about your pain, Morgana. I've come to realize that perhaps I empathize with you out of more than just our shared loneliness. We were both yoked with unimaginable misfortune, lived our lives in lamentation of our fates. I understand your pain. That boat has long since sailed. You're right, it has. This realization I should have come to much sooner. Though you said it wouldn't have mattered, I still should have made an effort to get to know you in life. I feel guilty about how I constantly pushed you away. So, I'd like to make up for that now. I approach Morgana, hands stretched out toward her. She stands there, bewildered, as I place them on her shoulders, pulling her in. Not for my own comfort, as I had so many times before, and not out of some pretend sense of pity for a sad pile of bones. I embrace her, and all the pain and loneliness she holds inside. Her body gives off no warmth, and it's as weightless as a skeleton all those many years ago. She, like me, lost so much in life, but unlike me, she had no one there in her final moments. It's alright, Morgana. Everything's okay now. The tale behind the fourth door may have been a fabrication, but the creator's soul is always somewhere to be found in her creations. Knowing the inseparable link between her and the white-haired girl, that's where I'll find what I'm looking for. I'm here for you. You're not alone, Morgana. We can end all this suffering together. It's gonna be okay. What's wrong with you? Have you completely lost it? Do I need to remind you of everything I've done? Of all the pain I've caused you? No reminders necessary. You did quite a number on me indeed. Then do you want to tell me how we went from that to you holding me? You didn't do what you did out of a particular grudge against me. Of that much, I was always certain. So I hold nothing against you. I bear no ill will. Nor, I'm certain, does your cell. You're much too forgiving. I imagine there's something about having experienced the kind of pain we have that makes it hard to harbor any ill will toward one of our kind. Shared trauma or not, you and that woman really are something. God, there are no words for how much you irritate me. The bite slowly drains from Morgana's voice, and in the quiet, I think I hear a muffled attempt to hold back a whimper. I pull away slightly, putting a hand under her chin and lifting her head. She quickly averts her eyes, but doesn't knock my hands away as I reach them into her hood, gently setting them against her cheeks. I run my fingers across the exposed flesh, then slowly pull back the hood, covering her face. Well, look at that. You're quite pretty without your face hidden. I didn't think you were the flattering type. I assure you, I'm not. Go on, touch your cheeks. Oh wow, she healed. Now this is the girl you were always meant to be. If Morgana had a less harrowing life, this is probably what she would have looked like at 16. You know, you look a little like the white-haired girl. We look nothing alike, I can assure you of that. She was the very antithesis of me. But she was also once a part of you. The last thing I want is to be like her in any way. And why is that? Because I never liked that girl at all. Always putting others before herself. Just watching her was aggravating. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to end the video here for today. Thank you all for watching. You're probably wondering why I went back to the intro scene. It's because I recorded ahead of time and I have a few episodes left over, so I kind of had to cut them down to half an hour to 20-minute intervals, so that's pretty much what I did. So we're not, from where I'm up to, we're still not at the end yet, so we got a bit to go. So if anything else guys, thank you all for watching, and until the next one.